Hello everybody and welcome back to Loop Hero. I have refueled, rehydrated, I've opened the window to all the crisp British air into the room. I'm much fresher than I was before, and I'm hoping to do an improvement on the last few runs. Last run we were the rogue, we unintentionally spawned the Act 2 boss, but in the end we made the most of it. We saw the boss, we've seen his effects. He seems to spawn these mirrors that we have to destroy before we can damage him. He also spawns angels that we can't target and they just get free attacks against us. So it feels like being able to regenerate HP is important because it also gives me a longer battle. He also had nearly 1,000 HP, which is insane, frankly. And he was hitting just over 100 damage per fight. Maybe actually slightly less than the Lich. But in combined with him and the angels hitting us, we could not get anywhere with the rogue. So I think for now, we're going to go back into Act 2 again as the warrior this time. And I think we're going to look at trying to fight the Act 2 boss again and seeing if we can beat him. We haven't really improved much since the last time, but we did finally build this smelter, so we have now the Arsenal Golden card and the Storm Temple card. So it'll be interesting to see how these work in our decks. As I said, the Storm Temple makes lightning strike, I think 2 lightning strikes every second, but it's untargeted and you can't evade it. So that would very much be useful for, let's say, the warrior fighting multiple enemies. So you want multiple enemies to spawn and to put those Storm Temples there. So we're going to be Warrior Act 2, and we're going to change our deck up a little bit. Battlefields didn't really work well for us last time because of the rogue not getting any benefit from the chest. The warrior will get the benefit. Now I'm going to make some changes. We've also got Arsenal, I should mention. We get an additional item slot this time, but it lowers the item quality by 15%. And it just feels like off immediate working out that this is very much worth it. Also interestingly, I've just noticed this is going to be on a road tile. So it's going to sit adjacent to the road, not on it. So I wonder if the Arsenal can synergize with something else. We haven't seen that yet for any of the gold cards, and maybe it doesn't. Or maybe the Arsenal and Storm Temple, for example, synergize adjacency. We'll find out. Now, I'm going to make some surprising decisions here. I'm going to reinsert the desert to our deck. We found out 2 or 3 episodes ago that these reduce every creature's HP by 0.5%. However, we're going to get a much better gain versus the boss who had 1,000 HP. So anything that can reduce his HP so we can kill him quicker, I think is good. So let's put our deserts back into this deck. I'm also considering putting Spider Cocoon back in and Chrono Crystals back in. I did take this out last time at the end of the episode, but I think with Storm Temple, if we can get it up multiple times, this will help us destroy these multiple enemies a bit quicker. Storm Temple, interestingly, isn't actually a roadside tile, it's anywhere. So we'll have to see how its AoE works. Maybe it's like the beacon, that it's quite a large area still. And we could start putting these in the map. They also stack, so we can place them adjacent to one another. This is quite a thick deck. I think it's the thickest we've ever gone to, 14 cards. I mean, why not make it 15, I guess? We could also try the Bookery, I suppose, to refresh items that we're not interested in. We did find out as well that the boss doesn't spawn random stuff around the campfire, so we don't have to worry about that. And that damage to all is going to be quite a nice feature. So there is a temptation actually to remove Oblivion from the deck. But I think for now, I'm using it as a bit of a crutch, especially against goblin camps, which are very dangerous right now. So I think I'm going to hold on to this. Do I put Bookery back into swap tiles? Maybe. I'm going to try it. Let's go to a 15 card deck. This is the biggest we've ever been. It's the maximum we can have at the moment. So our logic is we're going to spawn lots of enemies with Spider Cocoons and the Ruins. We're then going to use the Storm Temple to help deal with these multiple enemies, so it'll hopefully get lightning targeting them more than us. The Arsenal's going to give us an additional item slot, so we'll hopefully get more survivability. And the Bookery can refresh all our cards if we don't want to place them. And we've got Desert in to help us fight the boss. Okay, I like it. It's a plan. So Act 2, Warrior. It doesn't say which slot we're going to get actually from Arsenal, so let's find out. Immediately, like all gold cards, we get it in the hand, and it has to be put somewhere in the loop. I'm just going to place it down here for now. So, one additional item slot. Ah, we have a helmet slot now. We've never had helmet slot thing on any of the characters. Also, we get this nice warrior gear starter. And remember, we have 4 potions, so I'd like to not use one in this first loop to get to the maximum amounts. And our first helmet, so retaliation damage. We haven't seen that, so this is... I love this game, it's incredible. So we've unlocked a new slot and it's actually given us a different type of stat. So retaliation damage, I presume this is just like a thorns effect, that if they hit us we just hit them back for 5. This shield's worse, and we have rocks. Let's start our outs over here. I'm just going to pop this out as well. It'd be nice to pick up resources. I haven't mentioned this, but if it does become a situation where we find ourselves needing to grind lots of resources, I might consider doing like a super chill episode, which will be like a very long episode where maybe I'll just talk about stuff that's going on in life or around the world or something. Just general chit chat. And maybe we'll take it a bit easy and go back to Act 1, because it's probably the easiest place for us to farm at the moment. Every card we've had at the moment has been rocks. Again, I'd love to see an early village card. It's very helpful. It gives us quests, and then we can change it into whether it's corrupted lands or something. Randscape? I don't remember. But we can do something with it. So immediately I want to put this in a tile that will get the most spider spawning, and I would even go as far to say I'm going to put chrono crystals on this. Sand dunes we've seen no synergies with at the moment, and I'm just going to put it up in this corner. It also doesn't seem to give us a resource placing it, or at least it doesn't at the moment. Another sand dune. So I'm quite happy trading my HP on this character. Again, what am I looking for? Damage to all is critical. It's now a boss killing item. This vampire mansion I'm going to place here. It's a boss killing item that we need. Sorry, just checking everything. Because we can destroy the mirrors with that. Remember, we've not seen the spiders for a while, but they can web us up. Great, an early village, just what I wanted. I'm going to place it here. It destroys that slime, unfortunately. But I'm looking at putting a vampire mansion here. Again, there was probably an argument to be made for holding it, but we've been rewarded for not doing so. So we got the quest, which I guess has now been destroyed by turning it into a ransacked village. That's fine. We lose a bit of XP, but this will be a great XP and HP generation site later. Also, as always, have to watch the boss meter. Keep looking at it when I'm placing tiles, before placing tiles. Because we did accidentally spawn the boss last time and we wouldn't have done otherwise. We definitely weren't ready for it on that loop. And in fact, I probably would have considered retreating. We made the most of it though, so it's fine. We have to make every mistake first, and as long as we learn from each of them, it'll make us a better player in this game. So, Chrono Crystals I'm going to very spicily place. Does this have double effect? So it has to go over this. So I'm going to place it here, I think. Yeah. And then I'll put a grove here and a blood grove maybe there, which will affect these tiles. That doesn't seem too bad. So I'm going to spawn as many spiders in this corner as possible. This is a very dangerous thing to do. We potentially are going to get lots of spider vampire fights, and vampires can like stun us because they make bats who potentially reduce our attacks. But hopefully with multiple spiders it will also affect the spiders. And as always, we're trying to make this as hard as possible but still survive. I think this is the best way to play the early game. Should look at this weapon worse. So, not interested. Some fairly basic cards again. So here are our bats. Take quite a lot of damage here. more retaliation damage. We lose evasion, we lose regen. I think I'm going to hold on to what I've got at the moment. I'm not sure how much I feel about these like pure stat items. I think there are benefits on the rogue, potentially, where you get stat bonuses for multiple items of having the same text. So, for example, really leaning onto evasion. But I feel like the warrior can have this more broad synergy. So this ring is not quite just an upgrade, but it's basically an upgrade. And this armor is just an upgrade. So excellent to place this down. Tricky fight early on. There's going to be 5 enemies when the bats spawn. Make sure we switch our weapons over. We just got a better axe. We've popped 1 potion so far. 2 more rapiers. So this has regen, attack speed, and vampirism. I haven't worked out really what's better, vampirism or regen per second. I suspect at this low level that regen's probably better, 0.5 guaranteed, versus vampirism that only procs when we damage an enemy. So I'm going to stick with the regen right now. More armor, so 222 counter and regen. Welcome to the party. And another ring. Less regen, more defense, less damage. I think I'll stick with the 1 regen. We have a buckler ring now. So I could change these deserts if I'm not interested in them. I'm going to try it, I think. So I'm going to place a buckler next to the arsenal. There's no synergies. But I'm going to switch these 2 tiles and try and get something a bit more useful to me right now. A grove and a meadow. Okay, that's not too bad then. I'm going to place the grove here, as I said, for a blood grove over there. And let's meadow it up over here, I think. Well, I could play more mountains here, so actually, I'll put it on this top corner. So this is our ransacked village. Remember, these ghouls can eat corpses, so they have a much greater survivability, and everything here has vampirism. So it's kind of an annoying fight for us right now, especially without damage to all. And we've leveled. So resource cap up, not really what I'm interested in. Defense increased by after every loop. Pretty solid. But I'm thinking of pushing another 3 traits. Although defense is very strong, and I guess survivability is what we want right now. I'll go with skilled armor. I think it's also retroactive, so I think we got the 3 defense off the loop. And it does seem quite hard to pick up defense. Here's another grove. I think for now I'm just going to place it on this side of the loop. And another meadow up here. We ransacked that, I think, on the last loop, so we should only have 1 more loop completion before that becomes council lands. And then we'll really be flying. But so far, we're looking pretty comfortable. Got a few of these orbs of expansions as well that we need. Again, I should possibly hold cards that I'm not super into playing right now. I'd probably prefer to play deserts just as we're fighting the boss. This one I'm going to place down here. Yeah. Rapier, vampirism, no, not for me right now. So yeah, I think I'll hold this Sand Dune card. And maybe change it at the bookstore. I could also change this Chrono Crystal. I think I will change Chrono Crystal right now. I haven't quite got the build I want yet. The Meadow, I think I do want the HP. But I'm happy with this being difficult enough as it is. I don't think I want to spawn more things in the groves right now. I think this bookery is going to be something that great players of this game will love. And they're going to make the most of it. It just increases your chance of getting the cards you want. So by that logic, it is just good, but most of the time we feel like we're playing most of our cards. And again, we're about to hit the point where we're going to Oblivion. Fortunately, I think I can spawn the Goblin Camp. And I'm just immediately Oblivion in it. You don't have to hold him for the boss, he doesn't do anything. We also picked up a village which is going to spawn a bandit camp. This village I think I'm going to put on... I might even ravage it again. Yeah, I am going to. I think we'll get the benefit of that. So we have a, ransacked village. And I think... Do I use Cemetery as well? Yeah, I'd probably use Cemetery as well. Which I'll place up here. And I think we're about to come up to a bookstore. I'm quite happy to see another bookery disappear. One is fine right now. Let's switch these hopefully to the better cards. Should look at our helmets as well. So this is more retaliation damage and evasion, but we lose regen and magic damage. I think this is worth trading. Just pause, we've got a Blood Grove, just what I wanted to see. And I'm going to place it here for now. We have Ruins. I could place the Ruins here. It'd be a bit risky, so I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to place it up here. Our next Blood Grove will probably go there. But as I said, I think Village Ruins is quite a strong combo because you don't get things spawning on the villages once they've become at least count land ones. We could also have like placed a normal village there now. I wouldn't be against it. So let's switch our cards. Rock, Mountain, Desert. So again, I might hold on to these deserts for the next loop. Because at the moment we're not getting a huge benefit off reducing HP percent because we probably have more HP than every enemy on the board. We've now picked up another Oblivion. Interestingly, I don't know if a camp spawned. I don't think a bandit camp did spawn. So I'm just going to hold on to this for now. But we also got a shield which is just better, so let's equip it. Again, a lot of things to focus on this game. But enjoying it so far. Again, Luke Fountain this time. Level 3 ring with Vampirism. 1 defense and plus 5% counter. I think I might be willing to trade this just for the 1 defense. Take less damage. Our actual attack damage is also starting to go up now. And because of that, I think I will take just this weapon. Although our Vampirism is only on 4% right now, so we'd only be gaining 1 hit. Yeah, I think I'll leave it for now. I'm only going to gain 1 HP on either weapon. Also have a helmet with more retaliation damage and one with less evasion and more regen. I think I'll take the regen. We have mountains, which I'm still pretty happy to place down. If I can, I'd like to place another mountain down to spawn a Goblin Camp and use Oblivion before I get around here. So I will use another Ruins. Don't want them next to one another, so I'm going to space them one off. And a Spider Cocoon, which for now, I could place it here to get lots of spiders down here. Maybe then Blood Grove for this. Yeah, that could work. I'm not 100% certain where's the best to place this at the moment, actually. I think I'm going to play it safe, maybe. Maybe on this inside corner here. Yeah, I think that I'm okay with. Okay. We have damage to wall now on one of our things. It's a shield. So this should help this fight a little bit. Currently we're really chunking everything down fairly similarly. Something consumed the corpse so bats could spawn there. We're actually very low on HP, I didn't even notice that. So we should definitely stop placing monsters. And we're immediately going to swap for more damage to try and kill these as fast as possible. Okay, it's a bit scary place to be in. I might have to Oblivion something on the loop background. Damage Shaw and Vampirism. Yep. Well, Vampirism's now at 6%. Single targets are good for us with Vampirism. Indeed, I think we gained HP on that fight. A day just popped as well, which is nice. Place the rocks down. So we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 4 more rocks or mountains before we complete this loop. Again, I could, I suppose, take HP off everything right now. It is beneficial to us to do that. Not placing these down, because I don't think it reduces our HP. I think it takes it off max first. I could be wrong. Yeah. So let's place these for now. Let's just lower enemies' health, because we're not at full. It'll make it a tiny little bit easier for us to complete this loop. Currently, I'm not sure what I would Oblivion. I really don't want to Oblivion the ransacked village, but it is a dangerous tile. We should heal before then. I think we're going to be fine. But this was a bit of a tense moment. But we healed on that fight. 3 more rocks and mountains would be lovely. Yeah, I think we will complete this loop. This is the most dangerous tile there is. We got bled, unfortunately. But we picked up a level 5 helmet. Lots of retaliation. More vampirism. It's just better throughout. So, see, as I say, we nearly died, but now our loot is extremely good. I'm going to place the Blood Grove here to help us fight these spiders. So yeah, Blood Grove just came in so clutch for us there. I think we're 1 rock off now spawning the Goblin Camp. So we're praying that in like the next 2 or 3 battles we get 1 rock. Or mountain. No, that's a cemetery. Yep, so that has changed to Count's Land. So, that's excellent. Oh, I think that might have been the quest actually. So this is the most tricky tile. I'm holding my Oblivion. We did pass through the start, so we have some potions now, and we've leveled. Full hand of Oblivion cards, don't need it. If your HP drops below 30%, your regeneration is doubled. Yes, please. So regen now is very good for us. Let's look at these items as they've just flown in. So vampirism, regen, damage to all. That has everything we want on it. So yeah. More retaliation damage up takes vampirism. No, we want HP right now. Counter up takes damage to all off. Defense goes up. Yes, we're taking too much damage. Defense is what we want. And things are now starting to look good. As I said, I think damage to all and vampirism also is a bit of a synergy. It just deals more damage across multiple enemies. So we did pick up the rock. Okay, it must be 1 more rock for the Goblin Camp because it hasn't spawned. My mistake. Do I think a meadow is good enough to keep? Yes. The Vampire Mansion I'm quite happy to trade off. I'm hoping we get 1 here. I really don't want to just lose the Oblivion right now. But there's nothing I would Oblivion anyway. Like before, we could have also Oblivion and we got another rock. Very clutch. Destroy it, and now we're about to trade all our cards off. Chrono Crystals, I don't think we use right now. The Grove, though, I think I will use. And I think I'm going to use it here. And I'm considering putting Chrono Crystals up here at some point, but I think I want the Blood Grove first. Cemetery is decent, but I think the Vampire Mansion might actually be better. That is going to be a tricky tile right now to fight. I could also save it. You know what? I'm going to hold it to try and get another village. And we didn't, but we've now got our Storm Temple for the first time. So if you remember, our logic is that we're having fights with multiple enemies. We want damage to all, we want regen, and we want Storm Temple. Storm Temple is the first thing we've seen that works like this. So it's a line across. So placement of this is going to be a real pain, and it can't go next to roads because otherwise this would be quite nice. Where at the moment do we have enemies on the most tiles? So it has to be where we're spawning spiders. I think it's down this diagonal. Sorry, not down the diagonal. Below the vertical. So this is 3 tiles where spiders can spawn multiple enemies. So I think we go there. Obviously, I'd love to put it there, but we can't. So there's our Storm Temple. We've also picked up a battlefield, which is useful for enemies with souls, but I think at the moment the loop is hard enough that I'm not too concerned about it. Maybe I'll put a cemetery there. A single skelly boy. Yeah. I'm happy for one thing to potentially become a ghost. So we could get a lot of damage. Let's just think, so it's 20% vampirism. So on a 25 roll, that would be either 4 or 6, depending on how the rounding works, HP up. Whereas at the moment we're only gaining maybe 4. Again, depends on the rounding. I think I might just switch, although I don't know if the magic damage is on Vampirism, it might be it's just raw damage. I think I'm going to trade this. It's one of the few times recently at least that I'm just trading a raw stat off, but it's only because of Vampirism. Single target should be a great fight for us. We got bled unfortunately just before we killed it, and we might immediately swap a weapon again. Yes, attack speed, thank you, damage to all. This is the weapon we want for like the boss fight, but ideally a higher level one. So I think we healed in that fight. Yeah, a little tricky fight, 3 different enemies. We're also targeting the one that has the most evasion, rather than the one with the most damage. And there was a quest on there. Just all around that was kind of a nasty tile. I think, again, I don't think there was an adjacency bonus. Yeah. So we can quite happily put blooming meadows in our deserts. Picked up a level 5. Armour, we'd lose a lot of vampirism. And we'd lose our regen. I think we keep with what we've got. Remember as well we have the skill that if our HP drops below 30%, then we get a benefit off it. Right. Here's going to be another power play. Because I've now got the thunder thing down there, I want the spiders to spawn as many things as possible. So here comes a chrono crystal. But this backside of the map is becoming a bit perilous right now. Lots of sand dunes. I think right now I would happily trade the sand dunes for any other card. It's very much we want to use that before the boss fight. Vampirism, regen, retaliation, and it just has more damage. It's just better. And a ring, which lose 6% vampirism, lose some damage to wall, but it has 2 regen on it. I think I'm going to take this. We have a regen synergy right now. So let's try and focus on it. Ooh. Legendary sword with vampirism. We lose a lot of our attack speed. Has regen, has evasion, lose damage to all. Again, I might take this. I think this might just be an upgrade. And I think this is definitely an upgrade. So let's equip that. Our vampirism at the moment is only at 8% now, so this would take it to 13. Actually, I'm going to hold off on it. I think attack speed 14% is probably slightly better right now. It's a really close case though between the two. Yep, I'll swap that. The shield counter does nothing for us really right now, so I'm not too worried about it. And I prefer a weapon. So here comes the difficult region, and we're about to see the Thunder Dome. And we've got a Jeweler's Magnifying Glass, which I think we saw before. Raise the chance of finding a rare item by 10%. I would love to bring this home. So it makes my wanting to fight this act boss a little bit less. But let's see how we do when we're coming up to it. Again, I could consider trying to make another Count's Land somewhere. And I might even do it. We probably will see Loop 8 the way we've been playing. But I'd want it to be in a fairly safe area. So I think I place it here and ransack it. Our next village will also spawn a bandit camp again, I think. I presume the first time we didn't, or the other 2 times we didn't, was because we placed it next to the vampire mansion, so it never was a village to begin with. Which again is an interesting play. Also, what's worked out very nicely for us at the moment is we've got spiders spawning on here, so we're not going to get the ghouls, which are probably harder to fight. I will place this rock down, and we're holding our deserts to change them later into hopefully more useful cards for right now. I would like to get a handful of deserts though before the boss battle. Another day passes. HP's fine. I'm also happy for the Bookery, sorry, as it's called, just to go. I'm going to pause after this because I think I might want to play Spider soon again. Meadows over here. Although I guess I should really stop doing this. It's just becoming a habit right now. As I said, it's better to put them next to deserts. This spider cocoon, I don't know what to do with right now. I could place it over here again to try and block spawns and fight spiders rather than ghouls. But it will make this part of the map a bit dangerous for now, so I'm going to hold on to it until I get Blood Grove. And in fact, I'd be happy for it just to change over if I had to. It seems to come up fairly frequently. So no ghouls here this time, it's 4 spiders. And damage to wall has really done us good then. I think we also got struck by lightning again, which is pretty poor luck for us. We have more ruins. Where do I place the ruins? I place it here. Perfect place for it. Again, damage to wall is great. We're coming to a point now where we should probably start looking for a boss killing weapon. And damage to wall, definitely looks like we need it in some capacity. So we're going to trade all our cards. We have another Thunderdome, as I'm calling it. And in fact, it could be tempting to have the Storm Temple in line with the boss battle as well. And I'm going to try it. So we have another one down here now. Maybe I should have placed it up there actually, because it's multiple temples can stack. I guess it's just because of in the line, so maybe it wasn't too much of a misplay. Rocks, and I'm going to hold these cards again. I still want a Grove. And by Grove I mean a Blood Grove, of course. So a lot of regen, which we're losing. Damage to all though, and we said we wanted attack speed. I think I'm going to trade this. We're currently not at the point where we're going to trigger a regen effect anyway. Oh, it's a Mimic chest. What does this do, by the way? First strike always a critical is what a Mimic does. I don't know if we've seen it before. That's pretty painful, and we've got a Blood Grove. So let's place Blood Grove here. I'm happy enough now to put Spider Cocoon here. And we have another mountain. And things are going pretty nicely right now. Also have a 7 shield. It's equal defense, but we get counter on this one, so it's just a trade up. And this ring is 13% vampirism. I want damage to all though. So far this run is going as I had planned. We're picking up a lot of damage to all effects. We have multiple tiles with multiple enemies, and it's helping us fight all of them. Here again is another question. Do we trade 5 damage to all off this? I don't think we do. We have a lot of tiles with multiple enemies. And 5 damage to like 5 enemies is better than just the plus 5 damage on this weapon. So I think we hold it. It also has attack speed on it. But we're healing at the moment on 11. So we're not exactly healing through this fight, but maybe at the tail end of it we might pick up a bit of health. And so far this is looking very nice for us. Again, I'm not going to switch it. Give me something more convincing and then I'll consider it. Another level. 10% chance upon hit stunning a target for a second. Relief supplies or battering ram. So we have a 75% chance to stun each enemy for a second. 10% chance upon hit. So we're really saying we're going to have like more than 10 hits per fight. It's quite interesting the balancing between Shield Master and battering ram. I think we do make more than 10 hits per fight on average at the moment, so I think Shield Master is just better. We can also high roll, I guess we can also low roll, but I think Shield Master is probably slightly better for us. Depends on the scenario, I suppose. It also depends if damage to wall triggers it. So I'm going to start placing meadows up here, mountains over here. We spawned a goblin camp, which is not ideal, so I'm tempted to hold all these cards. Let's try and get Oblivion. We should see the goblin camp soon enough though, that we can at least deal with it on this loop. Level 6 helmets. We are losing attack speed for 1 more retaliation damage. Loss of regen, nah. Not for us on this run right now. I mean, things are looking really good for us. Oh, a level 7 helmet. Again, not what we want. Level 7 shield. This is what we want though. We're probably 8% spawning boss. We just have to keep that in mind. Regen down. Vampirism on it though. Nope, don't want it. We're quite happy at the moment to tank the hits. Evasion is not something we're really after. And and I'm not interested in the pole line. Well, you can see now that we're really starting to like make apps of our own. The early episodes we were always on death's door, but now we have much greater survivability. Interesting. Again, damage to all though. If we're hitting 4 other enemies and damage to all, that's plus 20. So in theory, the scimitar we've got at the moment is better, so I'm going to hold it. Let's place these meadows down. In and around the sand dunes. We might even want to place a few sand dunes now. And I will. Like so. I guess the other thing we could do is just always reroll deserts, because sand dunes have a greater effect. But I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling better than before at least. I feel like we've made better decisions generally. Right, I have to be careful. This village is going to spawn a camp either over there, which is fine, or it's going to spawn it wherever I place this. And I'm so concerned about this, in fact, I'm going to place it here so that it doesn't matter. It spawned it on that one, so we're going to get bandits at the moment in this village. But we can deal with that. More chrono crystals, I'm not too concerned about it. 5 seconds, okay. So I was just looking if chrono crystals help that, but it doesn't. I'll take a moment to rehydrate again. Grove is tempting to keep, but we do have a lot of tiles right now that require blood groves. And by say a lot, we have one that would benefit from a blood grove. So there is a bit of temptation to hold on to it. Sorry, not place it. So I'm not going to. I will place the mountain there. That's just HP. Yeah. Coming back up to a bookery. That's changed into a better quest. Perfect. And this has been a real renaissance to the spiders. Damage to all is working incredibly well for us. Not really noticed Storm Temple helping us. It probably is helping us a lot and I'm just blind to it. I'm happy to place another runes down here as well. And let's carry on. So our cards have switched around now. It looked like it was limited actually. I never noticed that before. Can it only do 3 at a time? Replace your cards with random ones when you pass by. Maybe the chrono crystals just re-rolled themselves, but it didn't say that there was going to be a limit on it. Either way, we haven't rolled into really things that we were after. Let's continue placing sand dunes down. They have no adjacency bonus from what we can see. So let's space them apart as like diagonals and then put meadows in between them. We can also obviously let our cards drop off our hands at the moment. But we're not really resource gathering, we're just trying to win right now. But I wouldn't mind seeing another bookery. I think I would place it down. The Count's Chair. 1% to vampirism if you already have it. Great item. Would love to bring it home. Okay, I just noticed we're still wearing level 4 armor, so this is basically just an upgrade. It has damage to all, which we're interested in. We do lose some vampirism, but welcome to the team. And this loses damage to all, but has an attack speed down and a damage up. Again, I'm not going to trade it. I think our scimitar is better with damage to all. I really think we need to trade the same type of stats. This ring, again, damage to all. We said at the start that's how we were going to play this, and I'm sticking to it. I think I would be forced to switch if they made me to, but at the moment we're pretty comfortable. Retaliation damage way higher. Magic damage up, regen down, and then gives us counter. I think I will trade this. 9 retaliation damage. If it's how I work, it's quite a lot, so I think that's a worthwhile trade. Again, I'm going to have to just go back to planning to place down these rocks. Probably close to spawning another goblin camp, actually. Or one up here isn't too bad, but we will hit another daytime before then. Have to really decide if we want to start placing these deserts down. I don't know yet. Chest, not a mimic. That's fine. Level 7 weapon. Attack speed down, damage up, regen. Has no damage to all. I sleep. Single skeleton. We still have a little bit of vampirism, so like single targets are pretty good fights for us. Not interested. A day passes. I think the most worrying tile for us at the moment coming up is this goblin tile, especially if 4 of them spawn on the same one. And we finally pick up a blood grove. Nope, it spawned across. And that I can deal with. Another blood grove here. And I think I'm happy to hold these cards for the bookery again. So this is a pretty difficult fight. Big enemies, but damage to all is letting us deal with spiders comfortably. We can also place this village down with no worries. And I will do that. Although I can't place it there, I'll have to place it here for now. Because otherwise the bandits could come across here and we'd have a scorch worm peppering us from afar. So this is damage to all down, magic damage up, defense just on it, and much higher regen. I think this I will make a trade on. Slightly less damage to all, but higher regen. We are starting to take damage, so sustaining a run is worthwhile. And I'm also going to take this. This is just an upgrade for what we're trying to do right now. Yep, damage to all and vampirism. The evasion's kind of wasted. I will continue to place rocks, and I'm going to place it here now. I'll just keep all these rocks now. Call it the Rockies instead of the Alps, less trees. And I'm currently holding these desert tiles because they're not hugely useful for us. We have more HP than any enemy, but it'll be great for us when we're fighting the boss. And we have to bear in mind now, and I'm noticing it, we're about 95% of the way to spawning the boss, so let's not just accidentally spawn him. What I'm thinking at the moment is we spawn him on the next loop. So we complete this one, and then immediately spawn him and start throwing down tiles to fight him. So this has vampirism, not regen. I think I'd rather have the regen. So again, we would love to attack the flesh golem, because we have damage to all. Unfortunately we didn't, but we can live with it. Maybe to my death, or to my detriment, damage to all. I said I wanted at the start, and I won't trade a weapon away for it. Especially with how we've built our run. Again, no. And no, maybe. And by maybe, I mean... So it's one less retaliation damage, but it has an attack speed up, which helps with vampirism. It also comes with vampirism, and it has regen higher, and we have an effect that benefits regen. Welcome to the team. That shield is going to be worse. We'll hopefully as well level before we fight the boss again. And let's try and just pick a boss fighting skill, I guess. Again, decision to be made. Do we want to let things just drop off? I think I would rather actually just place these deserts. But let's just place a few of them. Because this at the moment is more detrimental to us than any of the enemies we're fighting. Again, loot fountain. Damage to all, and it is a damage up. We lose the 14% attack speed though, which kind of hurts. Does come with defense though instead. I think I will make this trade. Damage to all, it's 1 damage to all down. Comes with a defense. We already had it. No, not interested. Oh, you stinky low range. So again, we haven't picked up an Oblivion yet, and I think I would Oblivion this Goblin camp. It's just more concern for me than it's worth. We'll again keep placing deserts around here, and things are going pretty well so far. We still have 4 potions. We might dip into it on this loop though. And things are now starting to drop off our screen, so let's place them. Just looking at our boss meter now, I think I can place 1 more and be fine. Yeah, I think the next thing I place will spawn the boss, so I can't place another tile till I complete the loop. So things are just going to drop off the screen. And that's fine, we get resources for it, and there's nothing here that I would really miss. So 3 spiders is easy for us. And we've completed the loop, so as I said, it's time to purposely spawn the boss. So let's get our meadows in here. There's the boss. So we have 1 loop to complete, and then we fight him. Kind of an annoying place for our villages. I think we need to bear this in mind that when we're fighting the bosses, we want the HP before the camp. Just need to make a mental note of this. This doesn't really benefit us too much. We've also nearly healed to full anyway. But it's fine. Lessons learned. And also now we're in boss killing mode. So let's just start whacking down deserts. His HP is going to be... Sorry, we're getting more of an effect on it than the bosses. But I still would love to take his HP down considerably. And I don't want to make this run any harder. We will level. We don't need to make it harder for another level. I think we've got good enough loot to beat him. I could be wrong, but I feel like this is a fairly strong run right now. The only thing I think I would place down as well as a bookery on this loop. Other than that, I'm just looking for HP. Or HP down. So again, damage to all is really coming in nicely now. So yeah, it appears, although it doesn't seem to say up in the text, that we only get 3 switches from the bookery. And it went down from 6 to 3. Feels a bit of a strange design choice. It should at least mention it on the text for that. Yeah. That should be in the text in my opinion, but... we know now at least. No? Again, this shouldn't be too bad a tile with damage to all. We have 14 damage to all, which is probably the highest I think we've ever seen. All this loot looks pretty poor at the moment. It's going to take something near like the 8s or 9s for me to consider switching. Nope. 2 skeletons is kind of annoying. They're hitting so hard. 87 damage. Phew. This might be the highest as well we've got in the loop. We just dinged. Every morning the hero's sword is filled with sunlight causing it to next to attack to 2 damage to all. Okay. After receiving this effect and after every loop, the hero receives a bar of phantom protection that equals 65% of max HP. All 3 new traits. I'm going to take this because we know it pops, so unless they've like patched it out, it pops on the boss. And now we can heal behind our barrier for now. And I'm going to stop in there. Sorry, I'm going to just go to planning again for the sake of placing meadows down and sand dunes. That's fine. Everything else I can hold. I don't think I can put the battlefield in a place that won't be won't be harmful to us, is what I'm saying. Right, loot fountain extraordinaire. Damage to all down. Vampirism up. Max HP down. I don't think we take it. Damage to all on our helmet. We do take it. 20 damage to all now. And a weapon. No. Doesn't say the words damage to all on it. So I'm not interested. So this fight should be pretty easy for us. And look at the way this is going. Have you seen anything like this? Definitely not from me, because I'm a bit of a pleb, I suppose. First time we've seen bandits as well this fight. They could destroy one of our items, so I'm glad we killed them quickly. Really not seen an Oblivion for a while. I suppose we've got quite a thick deck now, but still, it feels like probability dictates we should have seen one by now. Nope. Doesn't have the magic words on it for us. Should be careful with this spawning goblin camps. We do have a pretty tricky tile up here. So much so that I think I would Oblivion the tile rather than the camp now, if I could. Interestingly, I've just picked up another storm thing. And I'm going to place it. And I'm going to place it in line with this. So more storms in the boss battle. Could be bad for us, but we'll find out. Again, pretty nice. Level 9 shield. Has 1 more damage to all. That's how much I believe in this strategy. Vampirism has them way down now. But that's fine. And we have another Storm Temple. Dude, just keep throwing Storm Temples at this boss. I don't care. Yeah, definitely not dinging. This should be, I think, our final loot fountain. Yeah, don't think we're going to get another one in time. Damage to all up. That's all you need to say. Attack speed up as well. Incredible. Nope, doesn't have the magic words on it. This also doesn't have the magic words on it, so I'm not interested. Let's continue. So we can really deal with these wide groups now. Better than I've ever seen before. It's really showing, like... I feel like the Warrior is just the strongest character so far that I've played as. He just seems to have so much variability in, like, being able to deal with single targets or these wide sweeping targets. Like, I can't sing his praises any higher at the moment. The Warrior memory is the great memory. So again, I'm going to pause. The tiles are going to come off the screen. I can live with it for now. Doesn't have damage to all. Not interested. Let's keep placing rocks down. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing another Bookery if the game would kindly give it me, but it's not. So let's place down our final tiles. We shouldn't place the ruins, that'd be completely stupid. Day's not going to take over. I think we're just going to go into it. I'm not even going to run the risk of just getting like one ration for placing a tile there. Let's fight this boss again. Any text this time, Priestess? Could you please stop? I refuse. 2 arms. Okay, quickly in it. So we've got that shield now. So we're going to heal some of our HP behind it. Damage to all. I don't think it's applying to the shields worryingly. They aren't, I guess, entities. So maybe this synergy isn't working as well as I was hoping. I was sort of hoping every mirror would smash when we hit one. But it looks like we do have to deal with each one. Still, we're pretty close. But I think we're going to come short again. Thunder, though, is doing great work for us. He's only on 300 HP. And another Thunder Strike hits him. Can we win just by Thunder? Thunder! My word! Odin, praise be. It's so painful. Every time, like the first time, I still can't get used to it. Yeah, dying is not very nice, and that's how the whole world feels right now. Not a great feeling, as you noticed. Now you're... Wait, what did you mean by every time? Oh, it's not the first time. My faith in the Almighty brings me back to life again and again for the sake of my great mission, to spread His word, to preach humility, obedience and acceptance of the salvation He offers. And every time I fail, and there are only the dead bodies of heretics instead of conversations, and my lifeless body, then why can't you understand that the wish to survive is an essential part of this world? I don't know how it happened, but you've made a mistake interpreting the motives of the Almighty. Made a mistake? Me? That's impossible. I believe in it, and I am the faith itself. I don't need to know or check anything. And you, what are you even trying to achieve? Nothing will ever be like it was anymore. Not even close. I don't know. Maybe it will. I can still try.
You're just a fool. That's what you are.
Well, we'll meet again. Just let me rest a while. Looks like she's gone. I can hardly believe her corpse will ever come back to life, but even if it will, I should give her a proper burial. Very nice of us. I definitely don't think I'm going to go on for another loop, although level 11, yeah. On a hero can summon a blood lightning with mysterious chance. Never seen that before. Post-mortem toll, 30% chance to get a random basic resource chunk upon killing an enemy. Again, nice. And upon killing an enemy, hero receives 1 stained glass charge, which can protect him with 20% chance, so it's like the boss. 3 stained glass is max. Or just resources. I'm just going to take it there and run, I think. I want to pick up this item. Give me a resource assortment. And let me retreat back. Incredible. Welcome back. Is that a piece of glass sticking out of your shoulder? I mean, what? Oh no, I didn't notice it, and it's not because of a high pain tolerance. I'm a bit shocked, to tell you the truth. Honestly, you're not the only one that got shocked that fight. I met a crazy preacher. Stained glass windows, halos, and an angel silhouette all around. A holy jamboree, you could say. Let me guess. We have all sinned and now we are doomed to face the holy wrath and apocalypse, and only in death shall we find salvation. Not exactly. It's more like God has decided to erase his creation. It has to be done. Show some patience. Well, that makes some sense. If you give it a little thought, who else would have the power to do such a thing? I don't know much about godhood, but I would think he'd be able to do all this instantly. Putting it simply, we'd all be dead already. We wouldn't even exist now. Fair point. Even if the priestess is right, it's not a reason to give up. Okay. Aroo! A howl from outer space. What was that? Did you hear that? Yeah, and it felt horrible, like someone coming to get me. Okay, I get a horrible feeling now that we've completed Act 2. We're going to get to know what attacking our own base means. So, let's go to the build menu. And this watchtower, might be time to place one of them. Oh, a new figure. That's a nice structure. Sturdy, reliable, useful. I keep telling myself this over and over. I nearly started to believe it. My boys are trained to see quite well in this mist. They'll support you in a battle if you're ever within the crossbow's reach. And the civilians will sleep better at night. I can guarantee their safety. Let's just see what else we can build. I could build another watchtower. But I could also build a forest. And this can come on any northern tile. I don't think I'd want to put a forest directly next to my watchtower, so I'm going to put one in the top left corner. Wow, it's a forest. Yep, a forest. Solid wood is truly unbelievable. Yeah, I get it. I know what a forest is. A shining example of perennial evergreen flora. Are you making fun of me? That's how a log or a plant looks before it dies, so exciting. Yes, you're definitely making fun of me. I'm not sure if she was. Don't get yourself down too much. We can place multiple forests, but I don't think we will. War Camp increases the hero's strength by 4%, unlocks an outpost card. I think we're also going to place this. And I think I'm going to place it on this side. I beg your pardon, sir, but could you take a step towards the staging grounds? A bit closer. Great, thank you, sir. And now get in line. I'll teach you how to fight properly, rookie. I will work you to the ground. I'll tear your soul out to free up some space for a muscle if it needs be. Well, it seems we have multiple, at least memories, so maybe souls in us. Some might call it torture, but I call it effective education. Okay, cool. I'm going to quickly just go into supply. We have this magnifying glass, which we can't place. We also have this chair, which we apparently can't place. Again, I don't know if this is a bug, or I'm just limited on slots. I guess it might be limiting on slots, and it could actually, now that I think about it, be what all this means. Maybe this is giving me slots in my supply menu. That's how I'm going to assume it is at the moment. I don't think it'd be a bug like that in the game at the moment. Anyway, I have to go. It's been a great episode. We made a stride that I never thought we would have done on this episode. We've killed the Act 2 boss. I think we had a bit of luck beside us, and definitely some of Odin's help by the way the thunder struck down the boss. If you liked the video, feel free to comment, mention any other games you'd like to see me play, and I might give it a go. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.